Hey loves, my name is Amber Mellon and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Moon and Star Therapy channel. If you are new here, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss an upload from me. And for those of you who are not new here, hey ladies, hey guys, how are you all doing today? Big shout out for the ladies who watch my videos as soon as it uploads. I see you, I thank you, I appreciate you, okay? So today I just want to talk about a topic that I never really took the time out to think about, okay? So this video is going to be transparent, a little bit more transparent, into a personal thing in my life that there's still some residue of me needing to address this and work on this that I wasn't even aware of, that, you know, in my own personal spiritual time that God showed me about myself. And what they showed me is that, Amber, you do not like to receive. You have a problem with receiving. And when I seen that, and they said that, you know, when you have a problem with receiving, you are not in alignment and you are out of balance and out of harmony with God and the universe and the things that you're trying to manifest in the abundance, and you make yourself a martyr. I was like, oh my gosh, you I was like, ouch. Thank you thank you, spirit team, for hurting my feelings today, but they hurt my feelings in a good way. 333 on the clock, okay? So this subject is really important. I feel like this is really important to God, to whoever you believe in, okay? I feel like they definitely brought this to my attention because I'm probably not the only one that deals with this, but your girl has a hard problem with receiving, okay? And a part of the reason why I have a hard time receiving is partly due to the way I was raised, okay? I've mentioned to you ladies before in a previous video that I was raised in a servant type of way, okay? I was raised to think about others before I think about myself, to put others first before I think about myself, to everything that I do to think about how it's going to affect someone else, okay? And I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. I just think that it can be too out of balance, okay? It could be too out of balance, especially in the Black community and especially as a Black woman, with how we were raised, how our ancestors was raised, how our grandmothers was raised. They were raised to serve their community, to serve their family, to put everybody else, to serve from an empty cup, okay? And God was telling me like, hey Amber, this next phase that you're going into, this new chapter you're going into, this is something we really want you to work on and you need to address with your problem with receiving things, okay? So one of the reasons why I feel like I have a hard time receiving is, you know, you guys know my story about, you know, how I grew up and my emotional childhood traumas and the things that I endured. So a lot of the reason why I give too, that's also another thing God brought to my attention, is our intentions when we give, when we overgive. Are we giving because we want to be validated, for people to see our worth, for people to see what a good person we are, for people to see while we're our value in someone else's life? That's another thing that I had to address, that in the past, Amber, a lot of the times you're giving, yes, you give from a grateful heart, yes, you give from an abundant place, but a lot of the times you give from an empty cup. You give from being depleted, and it's all because in the past you were trying to help someone to understand what an asset you were in their life, how valuable you were in their life, okay? And so, you know, now that I've been healing and working on that and working on, you know, practicing self-love and self-care and, you know, making sure my cup is filled, you know, now God is saying, okay, now Amber, you need to learn how to receive. You know, you got the giving part, you're setting boundaries, and we're proud of that. You're understanding who to give to and not to give to, but now we need to help you to understand of how to receive, because when you don't receive, when you don't allow yourself to receive, you are out of alignment, you are out of harmony, because as much as you give, you should receive, because this creates balance in your life. This sets the balance, okay? So for those of us women, if you resonate with me where you have a hard time receiving, you have a hard time receiving compliments, you have a hard time, letting anyone open the door for you, carry your tray. I know sometimes when I'm out with baby girl and we're out eating lunch, a lot of people want to help me with my tray to the table. And I always say, no, I got it. And this small little voice in the back of my mind, I hear God saying, Amber, if people want to do stuff for you, let them do it, because you do so much for others. You give so much. You are an overgiver, and we're trying to create balance back in your life. We're trying to set the scale straight of all the giving that you've done. If you're just giving, and you're not letting anything come in your life where you receive, you're out of harmony. You're out of balance with your higher self, okay? So it's very important to be able to receive, ladies. How many of us have a hard time receiving a compliment? I know I've been working on this. If someone gives me a compliment, I've been learning to how to receive it. But a lot of times if someone gives me a compliment, I'll be like, oh girl, you hyping me up. You hyping me up today. You just gashing my head up. And it's like, Amber, there's no need to say that. If somebody wants to give you a compliment, that is their way of acknowledging you, of seeing you, of, highlighting all that self-care, all that self-love that you've been doing on yourself and you've been working a lot. That's God's way. That's the universe way of them saying, hey, it's going to get noticed. People are noticing all this hard work, all this time you took a step back and you secluded yourself and you was in hermit mode. People are seeing that. So if someone wants to give you a compliment, let them do that, okay? Another reason why it's important to receive, okay, is if a person wants to give to you, it's a reason why they want to give to you, okay? Hopefully you can discern if it's out of pure intentions, if it's not just to, tit for tat, whatever. But if someone truly is trying to give to you from a pure heart, allow them to do that, okay? Because when you play it down, or when you say, hey, you didn't have to do this, you're taking away their whatever conviction, whatever was laid on their heart to give to you, okay? And I just cannot believe God was like, Amber, you do not know how to receive. You are making yourself a martyr. You love to give more than you like to receive. And that's not what we want for your life, okay? Because you're going into a season of your life where a lot of people are going to want to give to you. And it's important that you let them. If someone's trying to give to you, it's because you've had an impression on their life in some type of way. Or maybe they felt it on their heart. Maybe God put it on their heart to give to you for some type of reason. They're following their intuition. They're following their heart. They're following the guidance of why this person feels like they need to give to you, okay? Maybe it's because of something you said. Maybe it's because something you've done, okay? Maybe you haven't said or done anything. Again, it's just on this person to give to you. And when you play it down, when you say, no, take it back, I don't want this, you are taking away that person's convictions of feeling of why they had to give to you. And you never know the trouble. You don't know the behind the scenes reasons of how someone what this person had to do to give you this gift, okay? Thank you, Spirit. I'm trying to put it in the best words. You don't know the trouble or the hassle that this particular person went through. You don't know if they decided to give you out of their need. You don't know any of these things. So when you don't want to receive something from somebody, something nice that somebody's trying to give to you, you rob them of that, because we all get pleasure out of giving, okay? We all get a joy out of giving. It's a blessing. It's an unsaid blessing in giving to someone and seeing their reaction, seeing their excitement, the emotion, especially if it's something that they've been wanting. We get pleasure out of that. I know I do. I love to give. I love to make people feel special. I love to make people feel happy. I love to just bring good energy to people. And God is saying like, yes, Amber, we understand that you're the giver, you love to give, but it's important that you receive, okay? So ladies, I'm gonna leave some articles in below, because I did some research on this, because I was like, wow, I never thought about that. It's just as important to receive as much as it is to give. I never thought about this. I never have until God brought it to my attention. Because like, Amber, you pride yourself on being this giver, and sometimes you overgive, and sometimes you give to people who don't even deserve the good that you bring, the energy that you bring. Just being in your presence, these people don't even deserve it. So not only in the past were you giving from an empty cup, or you were overgiving, you were giving where you weren't supposed to, you were supposed to take time for yourself, but you were also not, you know, receiving that, okay? So I did some research on this, and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about what I found, and I'm also going to leave these articles in the description box for you ladies to do some own you know, inner soul work, and in your own time, do your own shadow work, and seeing like, hey, do you resonate? Are you a person that likes to give, and you like to give more than you receive? Another thing that God said why it's important to understand the importance of receiving as much as giving is because when you don't allow yourself to receive, you are blocking the flow of abundance in your life. You are stopping it. You are saying, hey, you know, I'm deep down inside, I'm not worthy. You know, I don't feel myself as worthy enough for someone to do this for me. Or, you know, what I bring, my significance, is not that big of a deal. And so therefore, spiritually, what you're saying to the universe is, I'm not ready for abundance. I'm not ready for the flow of abundance in my life. And when God pointed this out to me, I was like, no, no, no. We're not trying to stop no abundance. We're not trying to stop no coins. We're not trying to stop the things that we're trying to manifest coming in our way. So it's definitely, I was like, okay, God, I hear you. I'm gonna get this together. I'm gonna work on this, okay? So I just wanted to share this and be transparent with my own you know, shadow work that God showed me, you know, in hopes that it can help you ladies, so you can take an inventory of your life and see areas, you know, where you're overgiving and where you are not able to receive, okay? Receiving requires vulnerability, okay? I hope I'm saying that right. Receiving requires us to be vulnerable, okay? And so if we grew up in a family dynamic where we, you know, gave, and you know, we felt invisible, or we felt abandoned or rejected, giving allows us to be in control, okay, in some type of way, which I didn't even realize, okay, because it's like we're taking control of the situation of this inner child wound that we feel, and we're saying, hey, you know, recognize me, see my value, look what I did, look at all the things that I do for you, look at all the things that I can provide, or how I can make your life better. You know, and a lot of times when we do that, it's to people that don't even deserve, you know, our time, okay? So when it's time for us to receive, for those of us who have grew up with family or childhood traumas, or you know, we felt invisible in our families, or we felt abandoned or rejected, or we came from abusive homes, you know, there's this invisible protection mechanism that we put around us, okay, where we don't want to allow anybody in fear of being hurt, or in fear of being taken advantage of, or in fear that if someone does something for us, you know, now we owe them something, okay? And a lot of times I do feel that way. You know, I don't really like for people to do stuff for me, because I feel like I have to do something for them. Like, I have to balance the scales. Like, I can't just let someone do something for me out of pure obligation, you know, just because they want to. Is like, dang, well, now I need to do something for them. And God is saying, no, Amber, if someone gives to you, they should be giving from a pure heart, not expecting anything back, okay? And so it's not for you to try to even the score. And I feel like for those of us who grew up in abusive childhoods or family, it's like when someone gives to us, it's like, now we have to even the score. Now we have to make it even. And we can't even enjoy the experience experience of someone giving to us, because now we feel obligated to set the score back just because of how we were raised. Because sometimes how we were raised, if someone did something for us, they either threw it in our face or they expected that in return. It was never out of pure love and intention. And so if someone is giving you something just because it makes them happy, just because they appreciate you, you've been a blessing to their life, let them do it, okay? Allow yourself to be vulnerable in that moment and allow that person to do it. Do not rob someone of giving to you, okay? So here's reasons why we have problems receiving based off of the research that I did, okay? Number one, we have problems receiving because in a way we feel unworthy, okay? And it's better for us to give because we get that validation. For those of us who grew up with traumas, we get more validation and we feel more self-worth by giving than someone giving to us, okay? So that's one reason why some of us have problems receiving, okay? Number two, another reason why some of us have problems receiving is because giving feels safer, okay? We feel like we have more control, okay? Again, receiving requires us to be vulnerable, and over giving in an unconscious way is like we're trying to cover up our insecurities and our fears. So when you give without boundaries, when you overgive from an empty cup, when you overgive feeling depleted, feeling exhausted, if you continuously giving to a partner, to a relationship, to someone who's taking advantage and never takes the time to balance and create harmony within the relationship and allow them to show you how much they appreciate you and allow yourself to be on the receiving side, okay, this is how we end up feeling resentment. This is how we end up feeling burnt out, okay? So a lot of times, us light workers or earth angels, this is a hard lesson for us to learn because we're of service to people, especially as a Virgo. The Virgo is the house of service. Our value in what we do, our meaning in life, thank you Spirit, our meaning and purpose in life stems from the mark that we leave on this earth, how we can be of service to others, okay? And as a light worker, as a person who is an earth angel, as someone who's an ambassador for God, God wants us to understand that it's just as much as we're giving and we're helping and we're pouring out our energy and our light, it's just as important to receive, okay? So just remember that, ladies. Number three, receiving can feel uncomfortable, okay? If you were raised to take care of the family, to especially as a child, if you come from a single parent household and you were kind of put in a mother figure role or a father figure role to take care of everybody and make sure everyone's good, it can feel very uncomfortable to receive. It's this unsubconscious thing is that we're not deserving, we're not worthy because no one emotionally took care of us of our needs, okay? And so in a way, giving to others is just another form of control, of protecting us from being hurt, let down, or letting someone in, okay? It's deep. It's deep. I'm pretty sure it's deeper than the little bit of research that I've done. When you think about, how you were raised, what kind of position were you put in as a child? When I was a child, I was put in a mother figure role at a very young age. I would say at the age of probably 12, 13, I was put in the role of a mother figure, being the oldest, cleaning the house, ironing everybody's clothes, making everybody breakfast. I was put in this servant type role, and that is the role I took on all the way up until my late 20s and 30s. And now I'm starting to realize, like, hey Amber, it's okay to be of service to people, but you need to understand boundaries. You need to understand when you're depleted. You need to understand when you're giving from an empty cup. You need to understand who to give to. There are people in your life who will just get fat off of your overgiving. There are people in your life who will be obese from your overgiving. And I'm not talking about figuratively, I'm talking about, as I'm using this as an analogy, like spiritually getting fat, just continuing, let you do all the work, let you pay for everything, let you do this, let you give, and they won't give anything back. And you need to recognize, who these people are, who's worth giving your time to and who is not. Okay. Number 4, the goal is to be in balance. Okay, so for us who come from religious backgrounds, we were raised it's better to give than to receive. And seems like that's a lie. God told me that's a lie. Y'all know how I feel about the Bible. Y'all know I feel like the Bible has some beautiful things in it, but it also has some things that is utterly hogwash. That's not true. Why? Because man put together the Bible, and man is fallible. Man is not perfect, okay? Especially if you do your history on it, but I'm not going to dive deep into that. But it teaches us it is better to give than to receive. And what it is just as important to receive as it is to give. Because how many of us who come from religious backgrounds, our grandmothers were religious, how many of them gave to the church, and they didn't even barely had enough money to pay their bills? That's out of alignment. That's out of balance, and a lot of times the pastors would say, hey, you would preach that scripture from the Bible about the woman who gave what little she had, and they'll preach that in order to persuade people to give money to the church that they don't even have. And that's not self-care, okay? That is not self-care. That is not in alignment. That is not in harmony. We have to make sure that our cup is filled first. We have to make sure that our priorities are taken care of first, because if we take care of someone else's priorities and neglect our own personal priorities, our own self-care, our own cup, we're out of alignment. And a lot of times our lives will become messed up and jacked up, and this person over here is good, reaping the benefits from our energy, from our good-hearted nature, from us being giving. So I really want you ladies and guys to pay attention to that, okay? We have to be, and I already said this, we have to understand that not being able to receive comes from family and childhood wounds, okay? There's an unsubconscious wound there. There's something in us that needs to be addressed when we have a hard time receiving a compliment, when we have a hard time letting someone else do something for us. And a lot of times it's trust. The trust was broken as a child when someone abused us, whether it be physically or emotionally, verbally or mentally. Our trust was violated. So now there's this imaginary wall that we have to do to protect ourselves. And we like to be in control of what people can do or not do to us in fear of us being hurt again. So it's better for us to be on the giving end because we have more control than that, versus on the receiving end. Emotionally, we don't have any control over this. And so that's why this is super important. That's why God brought this to my attention, okay? A lot of you ladies that have a hard time receiving a compliment, allowing people to do something nice for you, allowing someone to pay for your dinner. We always say, don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. Or, put your money away. Or, I got it. We just feel more in control doing something for others, and we don't want to let anyone do for us because we don't trust it. We feel like, oh, now we owe this person, or now this person has one up on us. At least that's how I used to feel. I don't like for people to do stuff for me because in my family, with my mother figure, it was always thrown up in my face. Look what I did. I do this for you. I do this for you. I do this for you. You know what I'm saying? And especially raised to be a servant, raised to be put in a mother's, as a mother figure at a very young age. It's like that trust, emotional trust was broken. It's like now I can't receive, because if someone gives to me, their intention, it has to be, oh, now I owe them something. And that's a lie. That's not everybody. That might be a few people. You have to use your discernment of people who give you stuff just to get stuff back, or because they want something from you. But most people who really appreciate you, appreciate what you do, your value, what an inspiration you are, what a blessing you are, the advice you give, they truly just want to do something for you just because they appreciate you, okay? And again, when you play it down, when you tell them to take it back, when you tell them to don't do that, when you reject a compliment, you are robbing that person of the balance that they're trying to bring into your life to say, hey, I appreciate you. Why God laid it on their heart to say, hey, I appreciate you, okay? So we're going on 24 minutes. So, let me get into the things where you know that you're overgiving, okay? So learn how to give from a full cup, okay? We're all taught to give what little we have or to give our last, but no, we need to do away with that old thinking, okay? God is calling us to have balance in our life. It's important to receive as much as it is to give. When we're overgiving, we're out of harmony, we're out of balance, and we are blocking the flow of abundance into our lives, okay? So ways that you know when you're overgiving, if you're feeling detached, okay? So if you're feeling detached from friends or a partner, emotionally detached because you've been giving, and this person has not been pouring back into the relationship, whether it be a friend, a family, or a lover, and you're feeling emotionally detached, and so now you're doing nice things for them, now you're still pampering them, but with resentment, okay? That's when you need to stop, pull back your energy, and fill your own cup, okay? When you're doing something nice for someone, or you're doing something you don't have to do, and there's a little resentment there, there's a little anger, there's something, stirring up in your heart, you need to pull back, okay? Where another thing where you know where you're overgiving is when your giving feels ineffective, okay? And you don't get any pleasure out of it and you're burnt out. So a lot of times we can feel this with family, okay? Where you're always there for a family member or you're always there for a friend, okay? And they're never putting that energy or that time or that love back into you. They're just taking. And so now you feel like, hey, I'm here for this person. I'm loyal to this person, but I'm not reaping any benefits. There's nothing, there's no reciprocity. There's no balance. There's no giving there's nothing being poured back into me, okay? And that's another way you know that you're overgiving, okay? Another way where you know you're overgiving is when you don't know how to receive. Ladies, we're so guilty of this. Women do not know how to receive a compliment and let it be, okay? And I've been working on this. I still got some work to do because in a way, when people give me a compliment, I'm just like, it's not that serious. Like, I'm not that great. Like, I'm not that big of a deal. And it's like, Amber, why are you thinking that? If someone's give you a compliment, let them, okay? Because I always feel like people are hyping me up or gashing me up, but it's like, no, Amber, if someone sees something in you, allow them to see that and acknowledge that, because that's all that hard inner work that you've been doing, okay? So that's how you know when you're overgiving, when you can't let someone do something for you, okay? Another thing where you know you're overgiving is when the enthusiasm from your partner or your family starts to fade, okay? Another way where you're overgiving, let's say you're overgiving to a family member, okay? Or somebody that's extremely ungrateful, like you went through hurdles and hoops to do something for a family member or for a lover, and they don't appreciate it. They're unfazed, they're unbothered, they don't say thank you, they just kind of just leave it alone, like you shouldn't have done that. That's how you know you're overgiving, when they can't show their appreciation for what you're doing, okay? Another way you know you're overgiving is if your partner's needs always come first, or your family's needs always come first before yours, okay? But especially when it comes to a lover, if you have a partner and you're in a relationship and their priorities come first over your personal priorities, what they need, okay, what they want to do, what they like, if that always trumps you as a person and what you want and your self-care, that's how you know you're overgiving, and you need to pull back from this person. Y'all need to have a talk. You need to have a conversation about, how things are unbalanced in the relationship. And if you talk to this person and you say this time and time again and they're still not changing, you really have to think about, hey, is this a person I need in my life? I'm serious. Because you'll feel one day you'll just wake up and be a desert. and you'll just be mad as hell at the world. And this is something that we have control over, okay, ladies? We're not helpless in this. It happened to me. You know, I woke up one day and realized, like, my life, my emotional state of being is a desert, because I have had this person that I'm in relationship with has not been pouring back to me emotionally at all. And I have addressed this time and time again, and things are still the same. So now I have to see, like, hey, is this something that I can contend with for a long time? It's like, hell no, you know. And so I'm telling you, ladies, if you're with someone like that, you have to take a step back and say, hey, is this something that we can work out? Is this something that you think you can work on? And if you don't see the changes, you really have to remove yourself from the situation, because point blank period, you deserve better than that, okay? So when your partner's needs always comes before yours, okay? When you believe, another way you know that you are overgiving is when you believe it's your responsibility to keep the relationship together, okay? So if the relationship that you have, whether it be a friendship, whether it be with your family, whether it be with your lover, if you're holding everything together, and if you just took your hands off and you know it would be washed away down the drain, you need to remove yourself from the situation, love. You don't need to stay attached to this person. And if it's family, you need to love them from a distance, and you need to pull back your energy, and you need to reclaim your energy, okay? Because it's time for us to learn how to serve from a full cup, how to be a servant to humanity from a full cup. Oh, I gotta change my battery, guys. Hold on one second. All right, guys. I am back, okay? So we're gonna wrap this up, because I know we're going on 30 minutes. But I think the last thing I was saying was, yeah, if you're in a relationship, a friendship, you know, and you're overgiving, and this relationship, this partnership is being held together only because you're trying your best to make it work, you're doing the work, you're putting the work in, and this other person refuses to participate, basically. So this other person refuses to participate in reciprocity, in pouring into you just as much as you're pouring into them. It's time to examine the relationship. It's time to re-examine. It's time to re-examine the the vows, the contract y'all set together. I'm telling you, because we only have one life to live. Life is so precious. We all deserve to be loved the correct way. And when I mean the correct way is, we all deserve to be loved in a way that is fulfilling, is that resembles the way that we treat and we love ourselves. People treat you how they treat themselves. That was a hard truth for me to swallow. OMG. You know, sometimes you think because you meet a person and you guys have been through the same experiences, and you guys have experienced the same family traumas and the same childhood traumas, and you think, you know, well, you know, they know what it is to be rejected, they know what it is to be abandoned, they know what it is to be hurt, you know, so for sure this person won't do this to me. But I found out, no. If a person does not love themselves, if a person is selfish, they only have the capacity to love you the way that they love themselves. And I will not make that mistake again. If someone shows me, like, hey, you know, I don't love in this way, the way that you want to be loved, I can't give that to you. That's not a strong suit of mine. I don't know if I can do that. I'm gonna be totally fine with it, totally understanding of that. If someone says, hey, you know, what you're asking for is too much, it doesn't take all that, I get it. It doesn't take all that for you. No, this is something you won't do for yourself. You think this is unnecessary for yourself. You think that you're unworthy of this. You think because you don't even do it for yourself, that you don't even buy yourself this, or do this for yourself, or do this nice thing for yourself, that it's okay not to do it for me. The devil is a lie. No. And I'm telling you, ladies, if you're in any type of relationship, okay, where you are overgiving, pouring, you know, doing all this extraness, you know, being exhausted trying to show somebody like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm not getting anything from you. It's time to re-examine the relationship. It's time to examine the contract. It's time to re-examine the vows, because vows are only as good as they are being kept, okay? A lot of people, put a lot of emphasis on vows, and vows are important, when you decide to get married. But if you're the only one keeping the vows, if you're the only one keeping the promise, if you're the only one pouring into the relationship, what good are the damn vows? I mean, yes, you said till death do us part. Yes, you said, but this person is totally not even adhering to what they said they would do for you. So now it's time to re-examine this, okay? Because you only have one life to live. Life is too precious to be unhappy, to be miserable, to be full of resentment because you are pouring or loving something that is not loving you back, okay? And I don't know how we got on to this, okay? But this is why we have problems receiving, ladies. This is why we have problems receiving, because it's that self-care, it's that self-love, it's that understanding that we're worthy, that yes, we are worthy of someone doing something nice for us. We are worthy of someone's accolades. We are worthy of someone's praise or someone's admiration if they see so fit to let us know. And we don't need to diminish it. We don't need to play it down. We don't need to tell them like, oh, you shouldn't do that, because now we're robbing them of their giving, okay? And you know how it feels to give. If you're a person that loves to give, you know that excitement that you get from seeing other people happy, okay? So if you know how that feels, imagine robbing that, somebody of that excitement for you, okay? Let's close this out, ladies. Let's close it out. Let me look at my notes really quick. What was the last thing, okay? Another way you know you're overgiving is if your partner's needs always come first, okay? If what you want is nothing wrong with being into what your partner wants. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with, attending things, going out to events, trying to, if this person likes to do this or this person likes to do that. There's nothing wrong with like, hey, let me be into what my partner likes. But if it's all about them and they never want to do what you like, if they always want you to listen to them, if they always want you to come to this event or come to this game or, play this or do this, and they never want to do anything you want to do, you need to re-examine it. You need to re-examine it, because this is why you're having a hard time receiving, okay? Another way you know you're overgiving is if you believe it's your responsibility to keep the relationship together, okay? If you believe that it's up to you to keep y'all both happy, if you think it's up to you to keep the peace, if you think it's just up to you to provide everything good so the relationship can stand the test of times, you need to think about it. You need to pull back your energy, okay? Because now you are in this relationship where you're living, thinking, and breathing about someone else's needs before your own, okay? When you are emotionally exhausted all the time, okay? When you're overgiving to your children, overgiving to your family, overgiving to a partner, overgiving to your job, okay? And you're not taking that time out to think about your needs, to think about how you're depleted, to think about how you could fill your cup. That is why we have a hard time receiving, ladies, because we're so used to serving and loving from an empty cup, okay? And I'm here to shed light on that, to teach us something different. It's time to bring balance back into your life. It's time to create more harmony and realize blockages that might be in your life that you never even saw before. And what God told me is, Amber, when you don't know how to receive, when you have a problem of letting someone do something for you, or when you think someone did something nice for you or supported you, and now you have to set the score and make it even, that's out of alignment. That you're out of harmony, you're out of balance. When you don't let someone open a door for you, when you don't let someone, carry your tray or do something nice for you, when you don't receive a compliment, when you don't receive a blessing, however the blessing is, whether it be monetary, whether it be somebody's time, somebody's words of encouragement, when you don't let them do it, you are blocking the flow of abundance in your life, okay? Balance. When we think about giving, if you're thinking about balance, as much as you're giving, you need to be receiving. It's just like a bank account, okay? If you have money going in, you need to have just as much money coming in as you have going out, okay? So I know a lot of you can resonate with money, okay? Because I got a lot of entrepreneurs, I got a lot of business owners who watch my channel. When you think about your money, if you have more money going out than you have coming in, that's a problem. You have to say, hey, we got more money coming out than we have coming in, that we need to cut back. We need to stop some purchases, things that we're purchasing that's unnecessary. What's going on with my spending? Where are these expenses coming from? You are trying to find out where you're overspending, okay? Or where you need to pay off some debt so you can get that money back. It's just like that, ladies. It's just like that. So when you think about not being able to receive, I want you to think about money in your bank account. You need just as much money coming in as you have going out. As much as you're giving and being a servant to others and being an ambassador and doing your light work and being your earth angels and being a spiritual unicorn out here and doing your thing, you need something coming in. And that's why a lot of the readings that I've been doing lately revolves around love, okay? Because it's important. Love is important too. You can fake here and say you don't want love and say you don't want a partner and say you're fine with being alone, but the devil is a lie. Maybe for right now, maybe because you're working on yourself, you're healing and growing, but love is important. God told us to be fruitful and multiply, okay? He created man and female for us to get together, or however you want to do it. If you want to be male and male and female, is whatever. That's your business. But it's important to have love coming in, okay? It's important to have that love coming in as just as much as going out. And when God showed me that was like a hammer that just dropped. That was like, ouch. It was something that I never really thought about, okay? Because it's like, I have no problems with giving. I have no problems with sharing. I have no problems with sharing my time, my energy, my resources, whatever I can do. If I don't have the resources, I'll definitely give you my time and my energy, and if I have the resources, I'll give you both. But God is saying, Amber, that's good and all, but you're blocking things in your life. You're blocking abundance in your life because you don't know how to receive. You don't want to let someone do something nice for you because subconsciously you feel like you're not worthy of it, you're not deserving of it, or now it's something that you need to do to even the score with them because it's you're not trusting. You feel like now this person has some type of control or something over you because they did something nice for you. And that's a lie from the devil. The devil is a lie, and so is his mother-in-law. No, you deserve to have people do nice things for you because you do nice things for others. You make yourself a servant to humanity, so when humanity wants to come back and do something for you, allow them, okay? Because that's in perfect alignment, perfect harmony with your life and with your higher self, okay? So that was a hard truth for me to swallow. That's something I'm going to have to work on, with the compliments and letting people just do nice things for me for no reason. That's something I'm going to have to work on. For Mother's Day, it blew my mind. I went into a popular restaurant called Dame's Chicken and Waffles in Durham, downtown Durham, right? And it was close to closing, and there was a long wait, and it was just me and baby girl. And I was getting ready to leave. I asked the guy, I said, hey, how many people are in front of me? How much longer? I was like, I'm not complaining. I think I'm just going to eat somewhere else. And the guy was like, is it just you and your daughter? I was like, yes, sir. He was like, don't even worry about it. I'm about to sit you down right now. And within 5 minutes, he moved me up to the line and I sat down. That was favor. That's God's favor. That's God saying like, hey, Amber, you're worthy. We see what you're doing. We love you. Okay. And then somebody paid for me and baby girl's food. I didn't even know it. They were just so Sarah is like a celebrity, okay? Anywhere Sarah goes, anytime she shows her face, she steals the show. She is a celebrity. And they were just so caught up with her and me and the way I was dressed and my hair and my makeup, and they just fell in love with the Sarah. I didn't even know they paid for our food. They paid for our food. And then when I left, I asked the lady, you know, who was that employee that, you know, I thought he was the hostess that helped me and Asara move up to the line and sat us down within 5 minutes, and she told me that wasn't the hostess. That was like the big guy who owns all the Dame's Chicken and Waffles. That was Big Dame. And God was like, Amber, this is just a preview. This is just a little bit. This is just the tiny tip of the iceberg of how people are going to give to you, because you've been such a giver in your own personal life, okay? So we want you to not block these blessings, to not block what's about to come to you. So this is something that we want you to work on. And not only do we want you to work on it, but we want you to share with others, because so many women, so many people go through this where they have a hard time receiving, okay? Well, I know this video was long, but I felt that it was really important to share this with you, ladies and guys. Let me know if you resonate with this. Let me know if this is something that you struggle with, you have a hard time receiving, you have a hard time letting people do stuff for you, okay? Don't block your blessings. Don't block the harmony and the flow of abundance coming into your life, whatever forms they may come, okay? I love you, ladies. I love you guys. I hope you're having a great Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.